Hey guys, welcome back to Afrifama. Now today it's day 14 since we brought the day-old chicks at our farm. Now this afternoon I'm excited to showcase their growth and as well some of the key management practices that we do here at the farm. Now, can you believe this batch? How much they weigh? Well, I don't want to drop the bombshell, but let's get started. Let's get to see how much they weigh and some of the key activities that we do at day 14. So those are the birds right here. But before, let's get to zoom in and see how they look right. Look at that. Now, in this step is usually to be able to calibrate your machine, and this is the weigh scale. And the reason being, every gram counts. Because in broiler farming, if you don't manage your weight, you cannot actually be able to tell if your day-old chicks have been able to gain weight. Of course, you can see that. But if you are doing this commercially, and I'll still insist on commercial farming, every gram matters. You need to see how progressive your birds has been, or what's working or what's not working. And eventually you can be able to compare this data with existing data, maybe from your own farm or from other farms. Now let's get to see how our day-old chicks have gained weight since vlog number 1. So let's get to pick our birds, and mostly we do this randomly. So I'll start from here, I pick others from there and others from all the way around. So I'll pick chicks number 1. Okay. And you can be able to see it's weighing 552 grams. So we have seen that bird is around 555 grams. So I'm going to note down as specimen number 1, that's 552 grams. And I'm going to do these for the next the next 1, 2, 3. I'm going to do these for the next 10 specimen from the farm. So a very quick fast. I've now determined that. So I've got to, of course, we can segregate that. That will be taken back. I'll take out other randomly. So we release this bird right here. And then we can be able to pick another one, random bird. Of course, they're scared, so you handle them with care. Obviously, you get to come and put your bird right there. Another 508 grams. So we just recalled 508 grams. So this is another one, and let's see. You can be able to see it's actually 512 grams. And this is very interesting. That's half a kg within 14 days. So these one, Now we are done. That is measuring the weight of the long necks. And guys, those guys right here, they're no joke. So we now need to see the other short necks here, how much they weigh like. Let's get this going. Right, we'll put that. I also need to see it from inside. Okay, we do 0. And interesting, just like that vlog right here, we'll be picking the bird random. So I'll start from this end. I'll also put 2 here. I'll put 2 here. Okay. All right, let's get to see how much they weigh like. 448. So this is A2, and obviously this is the 500 bahts. So we have the first one for 42 grams. Okay. $452. Kuna kitu nimerealize. 434. 54. 426 na 520. So now there is an interesting observation, and it's quite interesting because I'm seeing 2 distinct growth rates, and this will now make me want to revisit the previous batch production, because we were doing the short necks, but you can be able to see like the biggest grams I've recorded in one of the sample. Yes, and this is the 10 birds. We have only 520 grams, which is relatively like the others. But then most of the birds on this side, they are averaging between 442 grams, ranging all the way to 438 grams. Now, if you are to compare that with the longer necks, which actually the biggest one was 552 grams, you can see there's a very distinct growth pattern. And I've also recorded the smallest one here at 280 grams. Now, this is what I think. It's either genetic, or if it's not genetic, then it must be the feeds. Now, regardless of that, I can say both batches are on the trend, and I'm very happy. Now, this is what I've noticed. You can be able to see we do tend to have the bigger feeders and the smaller feeders. And the most distinguishing thing is, while the bigger feeders tend to have some feeds and they are not really polluted with the sawdust or what we call litter back here, the smaller one, it's a different case. You are able to see there are more than
the feeds are finished, and then the litter is quite more. Now, this is not a good thing in poultry management. So what I'm going to do this evening, I'm also going to add more bigger feeders, because the birds are more assimilated to the bigger feeders, and of course we don't want them getting coccidiosis. This is usually if they get to eat contaminated feeds. And as well, you can also be able to see from our drinkers, we have actually raised them a little bit higher than the ground, which also means we need also to raise them a bit higher as well. And eventually, this is how you control the diseases from getting into your farm. Now let's get to change some of these bigger feeders and see how our birds are going to react to them.
So this particular process is, I definitely need to remove the smaller feeders. By the way, they have been effective until this process, whereby I definitely need to remove them because they are not serving my needs, but they will certainly serve the needs of other chicken, which will be coming possibly in a week time. So let's get to do this. So most of the time, I like suspending these feeders right here, so I can be able to tie a knot so that it doesn't fall on the cheeks. It's strong enough, and I try now to adjust it. I don't want it to be a bit higher than they can reach, but also I don't want it to be way than their region. So I'll slightly just suspend it, and they can be able to access their feed. And then I'll just tie the feeder right there, and by doing this, I'll be done. So once that is done, when you're feeding in the evening or later now, I'll come and I'll do filling for the feeds right there. So I'll do the same case here. These things, and this is why I've been arguing most young people. This is something you can actually be able to do it your own. This is not something you cannot do, right? So, because these are just basic skills. And by the way, what you have seen us doing today inside is, I realize that our roof is very low hanging, and this is a problem with the building for the first time. But now in the next building, which we will do, we can be able to have this kind of spaces up here, but cannot tank the roof. So we do the same with this feeder right here. And that's how you do it.